Alright, this time I'm going to do the chromatic value scale, and a lot of teachers will not allow you to use black paint, and so you have to mix your own chromatic colors for your darks. And this is a really chromatic dark color made by mixing cadmium red, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, which is this color here. Those are opposite of each other on your harmonic color wheel I gave you. And then there's the neutral color made by mixing those colors. So I will start with my number 1 as the darkest, like the black. And as you might be able to see, if you can see the black above that, that's actually a darker tone than the lamp black was. And then I can add a little bit of white to that each time. Or if you are painting more like a watercolor, you can add more water each time. This would be more like an oil painter to add white to it each time, depending on which way you decide that you want to paint. So there would be the next color. And if I didn't have the white in there, if I was actually adding water to that, you might start to see a little bit of flecks of red. But I know probably the majority of you would be more apt to want to do the harmonic color. Now you probably only have 2 colors available to use here, and that would be cad red and ultramarine blue. And to darken it up like the phthalo blue does, you're going to have to add just a little bit of your bone black, which is a transparent black, to get that darker color when you do this one. So I'm giving you examples of 2 paintings that more value studies that I have done for you with these videos, and those were all done as monochromatic. And monochromatic can be dramatic or can be dead. It depends on how well you use your color. I see that one is not enough white. And one thing that a painter does not want is to have his colors appear to be dead and lifeless. So that will be the reason why, if you have painting and the instructor does not allow you to buy black, but rather to mix your own colors there. That may have been just a shade too close. I want it to be more like the gray one up there, so I'm going to add a little bit more white here. And go over the top of that. And this is Golden Open that I'm using here. So I could leave the paint here on this palette for when I do the next study, especially if I cover it in plastic or put it in a plastic bag. So it would be ready to do the next thing that I want to do here. With color next time. So it looks like I've got quite a lot of the dark there. They're fighting over a bone. A little bit lighter, there you go. Now the nice thing about paint that's mixed with black and white is it often takes up another color tone depending on what color it's next to it. It reflects that color that's put along beside it. So sometimes I like to do plain black within a painting and do black and white values with it. But in a lot of my paintings, my dark is more a chromatic dark that I've gotten more comfortable using those values rather than using black and white. Just depends on what my thinking is at the time that I'm making it. Alright, so there one more, and it needs to be really quite light, so I'm going to add more white here. This color. You see my white is lighter on the paper above. That. Alright, so there's the monochromatic and chromatic value scale. When you go to paint yours for your chromatic one, I'm going to have you fill up your entire page with squares and put it down the middle, because I'm going to have you mix values up and down with your colors as well, so that you have a whole page of color mixing. So that should be your neutral line that will be down either this line or this line, and then I'm going to have you add more blue to one side and more black to one side, more red to one side, so that you can see the mixing of those values.